Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody can hear me and they're able to see the screen. I see that about a couple of people have joined early. Thank you for that. So we'll just give 2 more minutes. There have been some requests coming in for others to join in. So we'll just give 1 more minute for people to join and then we'll get started. Okay. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Thanks for joining in. This is Vinil Wadi. I'll be I'll be the speaker today for this session, and I'm joined in by my team. There is Chirag here, who's the head of engineering at ServiceNext, and there's also Zubair, who's head of customer success, joining me today. Thank you all for taking the time out. We just waited for 2 more minutes, gave 2 more minutes for people to join in. So we'll get started. So today, I think the agenda is all about, like we sent in the invite for the webinar, the agenda is all about how we'll talk about how AI is transforming service desk, especially the focus today would be IT service desk, what the trends are and how the transformation is taking place, how AI and machine learning is kind of disrupting the service desk as a function. I hope everybody can see my screen. If you're having trouble seeing my screen, then there is a comments. You can chat. You can type it in, and then we'll help you resolve that issue. Jumping straight in. So, like I said, the agenda would be a brief round of introductions, and then we'll spend some time talking about the AI trends, the challenges and opportunities that AI can solve in the service management space, especially with a focus on IT service desk. Then we'll spend some time in understanding ServiceNext smart bots and AI ops solutions that we have for the service desk function, followed by a demo. And one of the most interesting things is while AI and chatbots can be an exciting thing, do they bring true value to the service desk as a function from a return on investment standpoint? ROI not only being on the on the amount of cost optimization, but also from an experience standpoint, what are the benefits that we have? So we'll also walk you through an ROI model, and we'll do some demos followed by a Q&A section. Hope that's a interesting enough agenda. So moving on, I am Vinal Wadi. I'll be your host today, and I have spent a lot of time in the AI space even before AI was became a mainstream, and the adoption started growing. And I am responsible and I co-manage ServiceNext.ai, which is the IT help desk, which is the AI and chatbots solution that we will talk about today. So just a brief background of ServiceNext. ServiceNext is a part of a much larger solutions company called Sonera Tech. We are a cloud-first company, and our focus is in 3 areas: IT automation, cloud migration, and digital innovation. So ServiceNext is a part of the digital innovation suite of products that we have. And Sonera Technologies, we are headquartered in the Bay Area, in San Jose to be precise, and we have multiple offices around the North America, and we have several product development offices in India, including Hyderabad and Bangalore. We're about a bunch of 800 odd product development and AI consultants, and largely our focus is on the enterprise customer segment. So some of the customers that we work with in the enterprise segment across verticals, across healthcare, manufacturing. We also do a lot of new age e-commerce companies, and so on and so forth. So ServiceNext as a smart bot solution has, we've been lucky to get a lot of traction over the last couple of years, and a lot of manufacturing, automotive, and retail companies use the solution today. Okay, so before we do a deep dive, you've heard me saying, talking about smart bots as a word, right? So what is a smart bot? What is a bot and what is a smart bot? What's the difference between the two of them? Smart bots are, I think we're getting some chats. Let me just look at that. Okay. And hear you. Okay. How about now? Is that Sen Gupta? So, okay. How about now? Can you hear me better? Maybe I'm talking slightly away from the microphone. So let me know if I'm audible to everybody right now. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Sure. Moving on. So what is the difference between a bot and a smart bot, right? Smart bots are, let me put it this way. Today out there in the market, if as an enterprise, if you want to build a bot, there are basically 2 solutions. One is there are lots of bot building frameworks, like Microsoft has a bot building framework. IBM has one, and then Amazon has another one. So you take that framework, you put together a couple of data scientists and data engineers, and then you use that framework and build your own bots, right? That's one way to go. The other way to go is smart bots. So smart bots come with a lot of features and functionality pre-built for solving a specific problem or for a certain function or a vertical, right? So that means that the smart bot is intelligent enough and it is mature to start giving you value day one, right? So you are kind of reducing the time to market or time to the value once you deploy these bots. So from a service next standpoint, our focus has been to make smart bots in marketing, customer support, and service desk. So incidentally, today our focus is on the IT service desk. While we also have smart bots for banking, we have for telecom and other communication industries, and we also have smart bots for conversational commerce. So moving on quickly. So moving to the next topic or the topic in focus is how is the industry transforming? So we've been talking to a lot of CIOs before we started building this solution about 2.5 years ago. What is we were trying to map out the next generation in service desk, right? Or more in a more focused fashion, IT ops, right? So everybody's talking about intelligent IT ops. So right now you have ops, IT ops, and then the next vision seems to be moved to intelligent IT ops. So what does intelligent IT ops consist of, right? From a transformation perspective, what intelligence IT ops means is Gartner defined it as a combination of automation bots, ticketing automation, and more importantly, predicting and remediation, right? So that means that there are a bunch of tasks that you are doing today, which are manual in nature, that can be automated. There is a bunch of ticket lifecycle management that your L1 desk is doing today, like creating a ticket, triaging the issue, and so on and so forth. That can be automated. And there's a bunch of system downtimes and errors that occur in an enterprise today, within the enterprise ecosystem. So can we have smart agents or smart bots predict and remediate these issues? A combination of these three is what is AI ops as termed by Gartner. Right. So that has been those have been the trends. Now, coming to some of the common IT help desk challenges today that almost every enterprise faces. We serve up to, our solution is deployed across at least 30 or 40 odd enterprises today. And we have seen this as a common trend, right? These 5 challenges. So what are those? The 5 challenges are: there are too many unstructured IT help desk reach outs. That means people call up to the IT help desk, or they walk up to the IT help desk, and then most of them are unplanned and unstructured. So that's one problem where it eats away a lot of your productivity time, your IT help desk productivity time. There's a long resolution time. Issues are lost within the system. Can you hear us? Can you hear me now? Yeah. Looks like there's been some disruption in the service. Can you all hear me now? Okay, I think I'm back with the voice, so everybody can hear me. So just for the sake of the audience, let me repeat, the common 5 challenges. So as you can see on the screen, these are the common 5 challenges. Most important are issues that keep coming back, repetitive, time-consuming tasks, right? Now, these result in, as a common trend, these result in low employee productivity, low support productivity, and reaction. So remediation is reactive today, right? And then which result in overall low mean time resolution metrics. Now, from that, how do we transform? So the entire service desk today, when I'm speaking to a lot of CIOs, one of the most common vision for them is that today the entire IT service desk is built around the premise that if an incident occurs, then the team would jump in and try to resolve it as soon as possible. That's the current setup, right? So from that, how do we move to a predictive model where the service desk as a function, the mission seems to be, how can I predict an issue before it occurs, right? Most of the issues before they occur, do I have the capability to do that and to remediate it proactively? So from being a reactive service desk to moving to a proactive service desk seems to be the most important vision for almost all the CIOs, right? Now, so with that vision in mind, what we looked at is, okay, so what does a transformation roadmap look like for a CIO, right? Based on the KRAs, right? If you are a IT help desk manager, or if you are an IT help desk owner, what could be the key KRAs? We looked at that, and then we kind of mapped that to 5 key KRAs between better deflection, enhanced compliance, reduced costs, increasing first call resolution, and improving agent productivity. Now, we took those 5 KPIs and we mapped them to what are the automation opportunities using bots and using AI ops. Can we improve those KPIs? So we came up with a framework, and then you can see that we kind of mapped the entire transformation journey that most of the enterprises would want to undertake for the next 2 years. And then we map them to solutions like, for example, better deflection. Most of the issues today are 60 to 70% of all IT help desk tickets. If you look at their access management, right? A large volume of that. Now, can we automate that or similar issues, right? So that we can deflect those particular tickets away from the agent. So that's how we kind of designed the framework of transformation, and we built the solution based on this transformation effort. Right now, moving on quickly to the service desk solution. So ServiceNext as a service desk solution is an end-to-end effort at applying AI ops and bots to transform the IT operations from being to an intelligent IT operations. Right? So there are 3 major components to the solution. One is AI Next, which is smart bots and AI ops, which we will spend some more time. We also have ITSM Next, which means there are several capabilities. If you're using any of the popular ITSM tool today, like a ServiceNow or a Sharewell, there are several automation capabilities that we can use. So those automation capabilities fall under ITSM Next. And then support next. Support next is a managed services for IT help desk. So if you are having a in-house IT help desk and you want to kind of take that out and then give it as a managed service, we also provide that as a support. Now, quickly moving on to the focus of the topic, AI Ops and Smart Bots for Service Desk. So what is the key capabilities of the system, right? Now, we look at it from a value perspective. So there are four main value streams. The value streams being how do we improve employee productivity using bots. So that being the value that we need. We have bots which can automate up to 60% of all desktop-based requests using self-service and knowledge base as the strategies there. Right? And then how do we improve support productivity? That we use bots which can automate service desk functions. So that means if I have a question and the bot can actually triage the issue. Let's say I'm having trouble with my Oracle apps to log into Oracle, then the bot can better triage that. It can allocate it to the right person in the team who can resolve that, and it can monitor that. So the entire life cycle can be managed better. And more importantly, bots can multitask. And because they can multitask, they can be very, very efficient, right? That means the bot experience is the same. It doesn't eat, it doesn't sleep. It's there 24/7 for you. And once the bot is trained on a particular scenario of problem resolution, then you can depend on it every time with the same efficiency, the bot will respond. So that kind of improves your meantime resolution to a great extent. And finally, moving from a proactive remediation approach to from a reactive remediation approach to being a proactive approach. So using AI ops agents that we have, we can reduce up to 40% of the incidents before even they occur. So quickly moving on to smart bots and the capabilities that they have. Basically, smart bots can do these four. You can categorize them doing these four major things. One is automating the entire ticket lifecycle management, right? So that is one, and then automating access management and resource management requests. We have a proactive outage bot where the bot, before even somebody comes and reports an issue, the bot is able to proactively tell users that, hey, you know what, the system is down, and then it will come back up in whatever is the target ETA for that, right? So our smart bots, they have the capability, jumping to the entire set, they have the capability to serve 6 different major functions, and we cover about 31 use cases within that. So if you look at the whole plethora of use cases that we support today, which includes authentication management, where the bots can reset your passwords, any type of passwords, like, for example, network passwords, or it could be an enterprise application like an Oracle or an SAP. It could be any messaging platform like a Skype password, or whatever other passwords that you might have, right? So bots are very, very productive when it comes to transactional support, like password resets and password management. And then bots can also do access and authorization management, which includes, let's say, a user wants an access to a particular application, and there's an approval workflow involved in that. Then the bot can manage the whole workflow. It can take the user request, go to a particular manager, get that access from him, communicate with them and communicate back to the user saying whether his approval has been, his access has been approved, or it's been put on hold. Things like that. So not only for application, the same workflow can be managed for your network folders, for your email distribution lists, and access to any of the messaging or communication tools within the enterprise. Then coming to the ITSM service management, right? In the ITSM service management, instead of your level one help desk agent sitting there waiting for the phone call, taking the phone call, going to your ServiceNow or any other ITSM tool that you might have, opening a ticket, capturing the summary of the problem correctly, and then allocating it to the level 2 or the level 3 person. So instead of that, the bot can do this in a much more efficient way because of the following reasons. It can manage the life cycle better because it can understand what the user is saying better by going to the previous ticket history. It can make out saying, hey, you know what, 21 other people within the enterprise are having the same issue. So I can categorize it within that particular incident, and I can make it a problem. And once it's a problem, then the ticket duplication is reduced, and the issue is communicated back to the user well, saying that, okay, this has already been reported by 21 more people, and then based on the current status, the ticket is being worked, this problem is being worked upon, and it will be resolved in the next probably 4 hours, right? So ticket management or incident management, like we call it, is much more efficient when a bot is trying to triage it, because it can have access to the entire database and it can have access to the real-time events happening within the enterprise. Moving on to self-service and guided troubleshooting. So this is a very, very popular feature. And what happens is bots, because they keep processing the incidents, the bot gets smarter and smarter. And they also have the ability to walk a user through a particular troubleshooting process. We'll see that in a demo in a little while. And make sure that the first level of defense is the bot will guide the user through a step-by-step process and make sure that the issue is resolved. If the issue is not resolved, then the bot would go and create an incident and allocate it to a level 1 or a level 2 agent. Hope that makes sense. And then going on to outage information, this is again a very important function where most of the incoming tickets can be deflected or reduced if we are able to proactively communicate to users saying, hey, okay. So yeah, on the outage information, again, like I was saying, most of the issues, if proactively communicated to users using whatever communication tool that you use today, like a Skype or an email, we can send out if an important system is down. We can proactively send out a notification saying when the system would be back up, then a lot of these tickets that are getting created would be reduced. And recently we launched the asset management bots. This is a recent launch in the last quarter. And asset management bots are very useful because they can take use cases like they can help users with, let's say, a new laptop they require, or they require the repair of an existing laptop. So the bots were very quickly able to go and triage the issue, saying, okay, what's your laptop's model, and quickly check that and see if the warranty is in status. If the warranty is not, if the warranty is still alive, then the bot can create a service request. If not, it can create a replacement request. Right. So there are a whole host of use cases that asset management bot can take care of. So with that said, I think that with that overview, let's move on to a short demo for the bot.
You have a few questions.
Okay, so I was just informed that I have a few questions. Let me see if I can get to those, and I'll answer that. So one person has asked, so the SmartBot is nothing but a configuration management tool. Okay, it's not a configuration management tool. So it's it's more of a conversation management tool. So we'll see that in a little while. If I show you the demo, maybe it'll give us more idea on what a smart bot is. So with that said, let me quickly go to the demo part of it. Hopefully everybody can see my screen now. I just brought the bot up. Okay, so this is how a smart bot looks. So a smart bot can live on multiple channels, right? So this same bot, the same functionality that I'm going to show you, can live on your IT service desk portal, or it can live in a Slack environment, or it can live on a Skype. So whatever is the channel of choice that you have, we can deploy it there. So let me just take an example. So here I'm taking an example of your own service desk, and on the service desk web page, the bot is alive. You can see that it pops up. And one of the first things it does is the bot, it intelligently scans your enterprise for any service outage, and it informs the user as soon as he comes to the bot, so that he's informed that okay, this particular system is down, and then when is going to come back. So this is on the outage management side of things. Now we want the service to be personal, right? So what the bot does is, first it kind of identifies who the user is. And how does it identify the user? So the bot is integrated with your AD, Active Directory, or any other IDM solution that you might have, identity management solution that you might have within your enterprise. Now, the IDM, using the IDM, we have multiple ways of identifying a user. One is using a mobile number with a two-factor authentication technology, where I can put in my mobile number, I will get a one-time password sent to me, I enter that, and then I am authenticated as a user. Right? That's one. The second is I can use a domain, my own domain and password. Right? So I can use the enterprise domain, user ID and password to identify myself. But what happens is, let's say you forgot your domain ID and password itself, right? So then it becomes a challenge. So in order to go one step ahead, we use a 10-digit mobile number, and then the one-time password as the best authentication mechanism here. So let me put in my number 669806490. So let me wait for the one-time password for it to generate. Yeah, I got that. Now I put in the one-time password. 6. Right now, once I put in I put in my one-time password, then it kind of recognized who I am. And then what it does is, based on my previous ticket history, it is kind of given me a catalog of things, right? Recommended catalog of services, right? So this is my IT service catalog, which is personalized for me. So I've been having, I am a business user, And I've been having issues with email, Office 365, SharePoint. So these are some of the most common issues that I've been having. So based on the intelligence, what it does is it kind of populates this kind of service menu for me. But I can ask any of the 31 use cases that we just saw. I can request any of them, but this is from a personalized perspective. Now, one of the first services that you can see is subscribe to outage alerts, right? So this is a very cool feature. Once I click on that, then the system remembers who I am, and every time a system goes down, I'll receive an email notification because I chose email as the channel of service for me here, right? So that way, I'm kept informed about any of the system outage that's happening within the enterprise in real time, right? Now let's look at some other cool features that the SmartBot comes with, right? Now let's say let's look at my previous tickets and the status on them, right? So based on what the bot did was, in this case we integrated this bot with a ServiceNow. And what the bot did was, it kind of went to ServiceNow and it got me all the previous tickets and the status on them along with the priority. Now I can update the ticket from here itself. Looks like there is a question. Was there a question, guys? Yeah. So the bot will send the outage alert, right, through email. Yeah. So as soon as the system goes down, because I chose to subscribe alerts through email. Now I can also choose the alerts through SMS or text. I can also choose the alerts through Skype or Slack, because the bot integrates with all these channels for communication. Hope I was able to answer the question. Right. So moving on, like I said, so the ticket status, I was able to neatly get all my tickets that are there. I can update them based on the status of whether it's resolved or not. And now let's move on to another cool feature. Let's say I'm having email issues today, right? And so the bot kind of says, okay, based on the ticket history in ServiceNow, which is my ITSM tool. So it has given me probable causes, right? Saying that, okay, these are the three most popular tickets, right? So it has gone through the IT service desk database and it has given me these three suggestions saying, if you're having email issues, it could be one of these three, right? So let's say I'm unable to send and receive emails, right? Now, what the bot does is, based on the previous resolution that an agent suggested, the bot is now giving us a recommended path to self-troubleshoot this issue, right? Using a step-by-step process. Like, hey, you know what? First, why don't you go and follow these three steps and see if the problem gets resolved, right? Now, let's say I've done all these three steps. I followed all these three steps in a visual fashion. And then I was not able, it kind of got resolved for me, right? So let's say I am having some other issue, like let me go to email issues, the same email issues. And this time I'll say, I'll mimic Outlook doesn't open, right? So this is another process it gave, right? Saying, okay, running the reset command removes all the customizations to the navigation pane, close Outlook, choose start run, and let me know if the if the issue got resolved. So let's say I was not able to resolve this, right? Then it is asking me to describe the problem. Unable to send email. Right? Now, once I do this, what it does is it kind of goes and creates a ticket in ServiceNow. It has created a ticket, allocated it to the admin, came back to me with the ticket number, right? And said that, okay, this ticket has been logged and, I will let you know shortly what is the status on that. Now, let's go back and check if my ticket, it appears in my ticket status or ticket catalog. So you can see here, unable to send email. This is there for me, right? Now let's go to ServiceNow. Let me log into ServiceNow and see if the ticket status is loaded. Yeah, there you go. So ticket number 385 was created for me, right? And it is the impact is low. It has been assigned to system administrator. The priority is 5 planning, right? So I can now configure all these fields so that the bot can put in the required information in ServiceNow and allocate it to the right person. Looks like there is a question. Let me quickly go to the question and see. Do outage bots come via chatbot? Oh, this is done. Once the ticket is created, do you have the technical capability to redirect the customer to a live agent? Yes, of course. So let's say if we have an agent panel where within the same experience, we can actually take you to a chat application. Now, ServiceNext also has a live agent desk where these conversations can be allocated to the agent desk, or we can take that as an email conversation to the user, right? So it can kick off an email conversation saying from the administrator, it can kick off an email to the user and he can respond to that. So we can take that as an offline communication email, or we can actually take it to the live chat in a Skype or to the live chat agent desk that ServiceNext has. That capability is there. Yeah. So so you've just seen how it got the ticket got created. That's on the ticket lifecycle management. Now let's look at some other. So let's focus on for a couple of minutes. I think I'm running out of time, so I will quickly show you how well we integrate with Active Directory as a service, right? So let me try and create a new user. So let's say I'll create the demo bot as my first name and Avenger is my last name. Right. It's asking me for a mobile number, so I'll do 734523123 Yeah, there you go. Right. So what it did is it did a couple of things, right? It created a new hire request in my ServiceNow. Not only that, it created a user. So you can see that I just got an email, right? A new user has been created, right? And it has created a new user, and it also sent an email notification to me. Now let's go to my Active Directory and see if the user has been created. So I'll go to all the users. So you are currently seeing my Microsoft Azure interface. So let's see, demo. So there you go. The demo bot just got created, right? And you can see that we because of our security policy, we were not, we kind of jumbled up the information so that we don't play with the security policy. So that's why you'll see that instead of the last name, the mobile number got created. So things like that. But the important thing is here, you can see that the demo bot has the capability to seamlessly integrate with your AD and create users. Not only create users, now it can create a directory role for you. It can add that user to multiple groups. The bot can now integrate with AD and give access to the applications with your enterprise, to devices, to licenses. So multiple things. If you are using an Active Directory service, then the bot has the capability to fulfill most of the enterprise-wide requests that you might have. Yeah. Going back, so that's one of the things that I wanted to show you. Another cool capability is completing the workflow. Let's say today you want access to a particular SharePoint folder, right, within the enterprise. So then what I do is, let's say I give my own email ID, .ai. And then what it does is, based on it will go to my profile and it will check for the authorization for the particular folder that I've asked access. And if I can be granted access to the folder, so you can see that I just got an email and it's given access to me to SNX banking bots. I click on that. It's taken me to the SharePoint portal, and then it's given me access to the folder and to the files in it. Right? So like that, there are several capabilities which we can automate. So like I said, there are about 31 use cases that we support across the enterprise, including Microsoft applications or any custom service requests that you might have. So this catalog that you see here are most common across the enterprise. Within this incident directory, it's populated it from here, right? So it's populated it based on the incident requests that there are about close to 422. It kind of summarized that and it said, okay, for Vinyl, this is the menu that I would throw. Like that, you can, based on your ITSM, we can populate the most relevant service catalog to the user. So that I just wanted to show you the capability of the bot there. Wanted to spend some more time on other aspects. Now, if any one of you have any other questions on the capabilities, please send us a note, and then we'll make sure that we collate all the questions and we are able to give answers to most of the questions offline. Now, moving on to intelligent ops, AI ops. So ServiceNext has agents. What those agents do is, let me show you. So ServiceNext has an agent which, when deployed in your enterprise, those agents are listening to all the events, infrastructure logs, platform logs, application logs, or any other code telemetry that you might have written. So the agent is always ingesting them and finding patterns within them, right? And once that pattern is kind of identified and correlated, so that correlation is again sent and categorized with in 3 areas, whether it's a security incident, it's a planned event, or it's a budgeted event. Based on that, the predictive and preventive insights kick in, and it is able to take actions. Like, for example, one example could be the JVM. Now, JVM is spewing continuous warnings. Now, the agent is able to look at the entire JVM warnings and is able to categorize it as an event of, let's say, low memory or memory leakage. and based on the resolution that was followed in the past, it can go on and kick on a script which will kind of flush the memory and make sure that the JVM is operating at the optimal levels, right? So using this as a continuous learning approach, the agent can greatly reduce the number of events even before they occur. I'll skip most of this, and then we will go on to other important things that I wanted to show. Yeah. So what is the platform today? It's a SaaS-based platform that we built out on best-of-breed technology. That means at the bottom level, all our NLP, voice recognition, entity recognition, intent recognition, and conversation automation, everything we use the best-of-the-breed technology, which includes Amazon Lex, we use IBM, we use Google's TensorFlow, so that the solution when we deploy in an enterprise, they are future-proof, and we also always get the most updated machine learning algorithm out there in the market, right? So that's the advantage. On top of that, what we did was we started building smart bots. On the left-hand side, you can see all the smart bots that we've built. On the right-hand side, you can see the channels that we integrate with. So your bots, like, I just showed you, if they can live on web, they can live on voice, on your 1-800 number, on SMS, and any other communication tool that you might have. The really cool thing about this is we have pre-built integrations, business app integrations with most of the popular ITSM tools out there, which includes your ServiceNow, Sharewell, BMC, Manage Engine, whatever that you might be having in your enterprise. We have built the integrations with that, and we also do custom integrations for any of the ITSM tool that you might have within your enterprise. Right. Now coming to the AI, what we call as the vertical AI model, right? For service desk, what we've done is we have identified 300 plus intents, right? So that means what's an intent or an entity? An intent is a part of an entity like an outage. We just saw the outage function. Now people can report outage in multiple ways, but the bot should be able to understand that intent, right? So we built all that intent out and we mapped. So in outage, anybody coming in and saying, hey, my internet is down, then the bot is identifying it as an entity for network connectivity, and the intent is to report outage, right? So we built this entire model, proprietary model for enterprise service desk. So this is what we call as your enterprise language. So people speaking the service desk language when it comes to interacting with the IT service desk function has been built out. Right. So this entire solution is lightweight. It comes with a lot of loaded features, and within the first 60 days, you can go live with most of the L1 or level 1 kind of requests. By the end of 6 months, you are almost like at the level of automating 60 to 70% of all your IT help desk incidents. Yeah, so kind of closing, because we just have a couple of more minutes before the scheduled time. We have 5 more minutes. So some of the interesting things about ServiceNext is that the entire platform is pay-as-you-go model, right? So there is no heavy upfront kind of investments. It's a pure OpEx model that you have, and it is based on usage. So you only pay for how much you're using the bot or how many issues the bot is resolving for you. So it's a success-based pay-as-you-go model, so that you get the entire benefit of, you're only paying the bot if it is working. Otherwise, you don't pay for it. Right? And the ROI is immediate. And we also offer for enterprises a free, no-risk proof of value. So what does that mean? It means that you can pick any 3 use cases, like, we saw authentication management or asset management or any 3 popular use cases, and we'll deploy it for you within your enterprise um, at no cost for you, because for the proof of value, we kind of sign up based on saying that what should the bot achieve, right? Based on that, based on the performance of the bot, then if you're convinced within your enterprise that yes, bots are helping us improve the productivity, then we kind of engage on a commercial level, right? And one of the advantages with ServiceNext is because we work in the enterprise segment, we are enterprise grade solution. That means we give utmost importance to governance, to security, to encryption, and to role-based access control. So we are very well versed within the enterprise segment and the nuances of deploying a solution there, right? So based on all these factors, ServiceNext is differentiated out there in the market today. Yeah. So I think we have a couple of more minutes to go. So wanted to show you another cool thing. It's called the ROI calculator. So here you can see that basically for an IT help desk company, now let's say you are getting about 300,000 tickets per annum in level 1 category. Level 1 category is nothing but password resets or all kinds of level 1 support. And based on your ticket volume, let's say you're getting close to 300,000 tickets per annum, then you can almost target, right? Almost about $3.7 million savings, right? This is at a slightly higher level where there's a lot of volume of tickets because we work with enterprises like that, right? And similarly, you can see that level 2 support, which are access requests, maintenance requests. If you were to automate them using a bot, then you would achieve this kind of a saving, right? And again, level 3, which are complex queries and triaging and ticket lifecycle management, what is the kind of savings that you might have, right? So you can see that for a large enterprise with about 25,000 employee kind of an ecosystem, we are able to give a value proposition of almost saving $4 million for them. Right? Now, we can use this template. Anybody who wants this, I can send this across to them. You can kind of play around with them and you are able to quickly show within the enterprise as to what the ROI can be, potential ROI can be. So I think with that, I think, we'll kind of end the session today. For any questions or any follow-up questions that you might have, please reach out to Milind here, who sent you the invite, or you can reach out to me at vinil@servicenext.ai, and I'll be more than happy to share my perspective and any other views or questions that you might have. I think with that, we'll if there are any questions, there are 2 more minutes to go. If there are any questions, you are welcome to ask them. I'll see if we can answer them quickly. So let me keep my chat open. So it looks like there are no questions as of now. I thank you all for taking the time out and joining this session. And I'll make sure that, okay, in Q&A, there seems to be the integration supported, I think. Okay, yeah, I think we answered that a little while ago. And we can answer that yet again. So good. Again, on a closing note, thank you all so much for joining in. And if you have any questions, please send them across. we'll be more than happy to take them and answer them. Thank you all for joining. You guys have a nice day. Bye-bye.